Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. It's been a while because
Hey.
the world was on fire.
Yeah. It's been a dumpster fire of a year. A total shit show.
And we've just been both freaking slammed. I mean, I'm a healthcare worker during a pandemic. I was working at a hospital for a while, and I now work at a clinic, but so I was just working all the time, and then I caught COVID, and it was just...
It's been a ride.
I digress. It's been a crazy year.
Yeah, so we apologize for being gone like the entire time in 2020.
But we are back.
We are back.
Unless she catches COVID, which let's hope not.
On that one.
I should be good for a while because if I think it lasts. Once you catch it, you won't get it again. At least not for a while. So let's hope.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So, this year has been completely different for us, as it has for everyone. But Hannah has not read
a lot at all. I've read a total of 30 books this year, like this entire year. Last year I think I read 76, and so the fact that I've read only 30 is crazy.
Yeah, it like definitely shows.
But it's just like, once again, I was like working these 12-hour shifts, and it was just not,
just like trying to survive.
I was not in the headspace this year. But I've slowly but surely gotten better, and I do have 17 to talk about since the last time that we filmed that I've read.
So this year I read 87 books. Don't know exactly how many that has been since the last time we filmed, but I will be going over the books that I read since the last time we filmed and then selecting a few to talk about, because I obviously cannot cover all of that or remember all of that.
Well, that's what we were just talking about. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to run through. She's going to do it first, and then I'll do it after her. And we're just going to run through everything we read, and then we'll pick a few that stick out in our brain to talk about.
I'm going to tell you like some of the ratings, because I don't want to tell you that I rated some things 3 stars or 4 stars and then I didn't. So if you guys want the full ratings on mine, you can check out my Goodreads, which I will link below. Yes. But I am going to tell you like what I read and the ones that I remember the rating on.
Yeah.
So you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go backwards. So since we last filmed, the first one that I read was Pedal to the Metal by Stephanie Nicole. And then I read Full Throttle by her as well. I believe those are both different series though. I read a lot from her this year actually. I gave them both 5 stars. And then I did my Burning Depths Volume 1 by Kay Lee. She's a wonderful poet. I loved her collection. The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I did their books kind of backwards, actually. I read like, not that they're in a series, but I read them backwards.
My TBR.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed all their books. I read Unicorn Untamed by Lynn Reynolds. Love her. She's wonderful. Yeah. I love her so much, and that book was so good and like kind of uplifting, but also really funny. I
bought it. It's sitting on my shelf. I haven't touched it yet. I'm the worst.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're the worst. I'm in a lot of trouble today.
So
I'm in a lot of trouble today for things that I haven't finished.
Hasn't finished Midnight Sun. That came out in what, August? Is that August that it came out?
I'm making it last. Yeah, it did come out in August. I'm making it last, okay? I mean...
Whatever.
Obviously, I've waited a long time for some more Jasper Cullen.
Also, do you guys appreciate the fact that I'm filming in my scrubs? Because I couldn't be bothered to bring an extra change of clothes after I got off work.
2020.
Anyway.
So then I read The Waves of Wanting You by Kat Singleton. Woman on Fire by Victoria Ellis, which is a 5. Anything from Victoria Ellis has been a 5 for me. There's not one thing that I read by her that I do not like.
Not a 1.
Not one. The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn, did not care for. Let's just move on. The Silent Patient by Alex, not a clue how to say this last name, and I'm not going to try.
Also on my TBR.
Freaking phenomenal.
Everybody
wonderful
loves that
book.
One. Yeah.
So good. So good. The Wedding by Danielle Steele. Nothing to write home about. Just a good quick read from her, but nothing to write home about. In 5 Years by Rebecca Serle, which she absolutely loved. I did not like.
If you guys remember in our last video, I like hyped it up. I was like, you have to read it. It was like one of my faves, and she read it and she hated it. But that just proves that, you know, people have different opinions about different books.
True.
Yeah.
Know My Name by Chanel Miller. If you have not read this book, you need to read it.
Never even heard of it.
Okay. Well, probably because it's the case of the swimmer from
I have
Stanford.
heard of that.
Yes.
I have heard of that. Brock Turner.
Brock Turner.
Right?
Yeah. Wow.
It's his victim. Wow.
Chanel Miller needs more attention, so read that book.
I really need to read it. Okay.
That was probably one of my highly rated books of the year, and I think it needs to be more widely known that that is her book. Because she was just known as the victim.
Didn't she just want that though? She purposely kept her name. Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's just like she's taking it back, which good for her.
Love that for her.
Yeah. Blurred Lines by Victoria Ellis. Again, 5 stars. House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I am loving this new series.
I've never read anything by Sarah J. Maas.
She's
going to though.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to.
She will not hear the end of it until it happens.
It's gonna happen.
My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing was freaking amazing. That's probably one of the best psychological thrillers I've read this year. It's my first read by her, and I absolutely loved it. I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. Guys, I cried. I cried because the case is so disgusting.
The Golden State Killer case?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so disgusting. And then the fact that, like, right after she wrote that book, he was caught. Like, right after she died. She never even got to see it, and that just devastates me completely. Viral by J.R. Rogue. It's a wonderful poetry collection. It's actually, she took ideas and feelings from different readers about what's going on right now, like in the pandemic, and turned it into a quite an interesting poetry collection. Letters from a Dead Girl by Cat Savage, which y'all know I love me some Cat Savage. The Road to Finding Us by Kat Singleton. That was the second one. I really, really enjoy her writing. Before She Was Found by Heather Gudenkoff. Loved it. Loved it, loved it. This is what you have me for. Contingency Plan by Red Montgomery. Wonderful, wonderful book. That's the start of a series, which I am continuing on with. My Burning Depths Volume 2 by Kaylee. The Bad Girl by A.D. McCammon. I love that book. The first one was When the Saint Falls, I think. I loved that one. I'm patiently waiting for the third one.
That doesn't seem very patient the way you said that.
I'm trying. According to Plan by Victoria Ellis, which was another 5-star for me, but that is the second one in the series that she's writing with Red Montgomery. Final Girls by Riley Sager, whatever. The Last Time I Lied by the same author. Those were okay. I wasn't so... I think The Last Time I Lied was better than Final Girls. Sometimes it's difficult when you're another gender writing from the opposite gender's point of view.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of difficulty with Final Girls in that. I felt like the woman that he was writing about was quite misinterpreted here.
Okay.
But other than that, like, I did enjoy the book. Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. Loved that book. Cold Cases by Shayna Roth. It was just really informational, not really anything, just different cases. With the Slide by Cat Savage. My Dark Vanessa.
Also on my TBR.
Kate Elizabeth Russell. What a talent.
Yeah.
That book will make you scream, it'll make you cry. You will just have, I had such a visceral reaction to that book. And that's her first book.
Wow.
So it was quite, oof. A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Now, I read A Discovery of Witches and Shadow of Night. That's the second one, right? Yeah, Shadow of Night. And I am currently in The Book of Life, which is the third. I love this series. I love it so
I've been meaning to read it for years, and I've never done it. I have like 800 million books on my shelf.
Right,
so.
right. Because of Low by Abby Glines. I continued with the Seabury series, which I started quite a while ago. I do enjoy these quite a bit. I liked Because of Low. Undeveloped by Kaylee. Loved that book. One More Chance by Cat Savage, which earlier in the year I do remember telling you guys A Fighting Chance was probably my favorite read of the year so far. One More Chance, and then Taking a Chance, which I just finished the other night, are the other two in the series. I definitely will be discussing this series in depth on this channel, so stay tuned for that because I have opinions. I left off somewhere. The Housekeeper by Natalie Borelli. Highly recommend that one. American Predator by Maureen Callahan. What a disgusting piece of junk. Not the book, just the person it's about. I want to clarify that.
You don't like this author.
While It Lasts by Abby Lyons. I did not finish Exposure by Colleen Fraser. I just didn't finish it. The Night Swim by Megan Golden. This Witch by J.R. Rogue. Rivals by Stephanie Nicole. Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman, which I loved. I really enjoy Alice Hoffman's writing. I read Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. I was lucky enough to get my hands on an advanced reader copy of You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes, which I will not talk very much about yet. Can't tell you my opinion, but trust me, we'll be coming back to that.
You just can't give any details.
We'll be coming back to that. Goodnight Beautiful by Amy Malloy was my last read of the year so far, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was like, I've been telling everyone, it's my staff pick right now, and I've been telling everyone, like, you need to read this book. It's very good for, like, fans of Misery by Stephen King. I would highly recommend.
Oh, yeah. Well, ready for my wimpy list?
Now that I've gone on and used the entire video.
So, the first one that I read since we filmed was Make Me Hate You by Candy Steiner. Love Candy, will read anything she puts out. I rated that one 5 stars. Then I finally read The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker, which I've wanted to read for a long time, and I loved it. I gave that one 5 stars. So after reading The Simple Wild, I immediately followed it up by Wild at Heart, which is the sequel. Loved that one. I think I gave that one 4 stars. To be honest, this was back in like June. I don't remember why I gave it 4 instead of 5 stars. Probably just because it's a sequel, and the sequels are never as good as the first one, let's be honest. Then I read One More Step, which is an anthology put together by a lot of authors. I didn't rate it. I have a hard time rating anthologies because obviously each piece I rated differently. One piece I did love though was Saint by Colleen Hoover. So good, so good. Loved it. Avoiding Commitment by K.A. Lind. I gave that one 4 stars. Say You'll Stay by Corinne Michaels. I gave that one 3.5 stars. I think it was the first I read by her, or one of the first, and I keep meaning to read her because I have like several friends that are obsessed with her books, and I definitely liked her writing, so I'll pick up more of her in the future. And then, of course, in August, Midnight Sun came out. I read it the day it came out, and when I say I read it, I mean I read the part of it that hadn't already been released on the internet. And obviously I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. It was everything I wanted it to be. Had so much more of the Cullens, which is exactly what I wanted.
I'm really glad that you like really enjoyed it. I was really worried.
I was worried I would be disappointed by it, and I wasn't. It was exactly what I wanted. It wasn't too much Edward and Bella. There was a lot of like the other characters involved too, which I loved.
What I've read so far, there is a lot, and I'm just like savoring it.
And another one that I actually reread, Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire, which is something that I read when you and I first met because you told me to read it. And now that I've reread it, I realize that I don't like it as much as I thought I did.
Really?
I don't know if it's because I have a different opinion on the author now.
Probably.
But I remember really liking it the first time I read it, and then this time not enjoying it.
I still love Travis and Pigeon's story.
Yeah.
I think I always will.
And then I found myself getting really irritated by them and their dynamic, which I don't remember doing the first time. So I don't know. Opinions definitely can change on books. So I gave it 3 stars this time, whereas before I think I gave it like 5. And then Heartbones came out by Colleen Hoover. I read that one, gave it 5 stars. It's like one of my favorites by her. Definitely in my top 3 written by her. Loved it. I read Dear Ava by Ilsa Madden Mills. I think I gave it 3 stars. Maybe I should have probably given it like 2, 2.5. I don't remember loving it, but I finished it, so it wasn't horrible. We Were Once by S.L. Scott was one that I DNF'd. I was bored. I didn't buy their connection, and that was that. I know a lot of people liked it though. And then I reread Paper Hearts because I was like in a funk and I just wanted to reread one of my favorites, and I love that. It's by Claire Contreras, 5 stars like the first time. 8 Goodbyes by Christine Bray. I don't know if I'm just like not feeling romance anymore, but that one I DNF'd also.
I think as you get older, you go through different phases too.
Yeah, and I just think I've been reading so much romance lately that I'm just kind of sick of it. So,
yeah, you eventually get to that point.
Yeah. You'll see in our December wrap up that I will be reading lots of fantasy this month. So I'm excited about that. The next I read Eleanor and Gray by Brittany C. Cherry. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars.
I have that one too. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't like one of my favorites, but it was good. I would definitely recommend it. The Right Player by Candy Steiner then also came out. Her lead character was Hawaiian. It was interesting because her book, I don't know if I can say it.
You can.
Her lead character is Hawaiian, so I think that was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I rated this one 4 stars. I don't know why I didn't give it 5 because I don't remember. It was months ago. The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry. Because I liked Eleanor and Gray so much, I wanted to read something else by her, and I gave this one 3 stars. I didn't like it as much. And then the last one I have to talk about is Forever Wild, which is new. It just came out last week, and I read it in a couple days. It's actually a novella, so it's the 3rd installment in the Wild or the Simple Wild series, and I really liked it. I love catching up with those characters, and it was good. It was a good, I'm pretty sure she's not going to write anymore in that group of books, and it was a good finale to it, so.
Yeah, I definitely will be picking that one up.
Yes, it's good. I love it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so that's it for us today. Hopefully now, without any other COVID interruptions.
We'll be back with our monthly updates and not like half a year update.
Yeah, we will be back monthly. Yeah. As long as we can still get together safely and do what we need to do, we will be back. As we said before, you know, the Goodreads list will be right down below. We will have a listing of all the books we read in case you didn't catch it, because sometimes we talk a little too fast, but you know.
Try not to make this video too lengthy.
No, it'll be there. So thank you so much for joining us again, and please come back with our regular scheduled programming. And definitely comment down below. Let us know what you want us to read this year. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.